Hello everybody, welcome back to more Katawa Shoujo. Episode 3, this should be? Something like that. Yeah, episode 3. I don't know why I wasn't sure about that. So let's load. Small talk, enter stage left. Does each individual scene have a name? If so, that's impressive. Yes, back to the musicless void that we were in when we left off. So, last time we talked to people, today we're gonna talk to people. Sounds great. Shizuna and Misha pull up towards the cafe, which is surprisingly, I never started my timer. Let's do that now. There we go. Oh, by the way, new border. Got a new border right over here. That is done by someone. I can't remember their name, but they will be linked. Their post where they first uploaded this will be linked in the description, and I did get permission off them to use it, and they said yes, so it's all good. Which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating in classrooms or outdoors. I saw some of my classmates had boxed lunches. After we finish I suck. After we finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier. Where did we leave off? So Hik-chan, oh right, the clubs. You wanted to know about clubs and stuff, right? Right, Shik-chan. Okay, I guess it makes sense to ask first. Shading little nods of confirmation, they turn to face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she was about to deliver a speech. Hik-chan, do you have anything you're really interested in? Apparently he's interested in books, and soccer, but he's not allowed to do that. Oh right, there he just said it. I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams or players or anything like that. As of late, I usually just read a lot. There's a book club, right, Hik-chan? Right, but it seems like they have all the members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, Hik-chan, it's a really popular club. Oh, okay, but more to the point, Hik-chan. Does that mean that you don't have anything already in mind? Not really. Good, great, that's great, Hik-chan. Really great. Why is it so great? No reason. Well, Hik-chan, other than clubs and upcoming festival, there is one other thing. Student council. I see. I didn't know the school had a student council. That was a very melodramatic setup, though, just to tell me that. I'm pretty sure the two of them know this because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it and Misha is laughing. Shizune quickly retakes control of the discussion in a manner of speaking. After all, it's still Misha who has to voice whatever she says. Right. Hik-chan, maybe you should join the student council. They could use more people. Yes, definitely. You should definitely join. Why? Well, for one, we could hang out every day, Hik-chan. Shik-chan and I are both in the student council. Actually, Shik-chan is the president. I'm starting to get the suspicion that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk about this with. It's true. So reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses and signs something to Misha. Of course, we're not... what? We're not trying to get you to join just because we would obviously benefit from you joining the student council, and therefore have an incentive to try and get you to. So you're admitting that? No, we admit nothing. I mean, Hik-chan, of course. What? Hik-chan, of course it would be nice if you joined and we'd appreciate it. But even without all that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the workings of one's school. Yep, it's true, Hik-chan. Besides, then you want to spend some time with us after school? She says Hik-chan way too much. I can't tell if she's being genuine or if this is just really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look their cutest, although they are already pretty cute to begin with. That's true, these two are cuties. Well... So let's settle then. Welcome to student council, Hik-chan. What? No! Just deciding things on our own. Aw. See, Shik-chan? Of course it wouldn't go so easily. Yep, that's right. That would be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well. Shik-chan owes me candy now. You were betting on it. Hey, my life is not a game here. Shino seems very intrigued by this when Misha signs it to her. The aggressive glint returns to her eyes. Wow, that's interesting, Hik-chan. Let's play a game. That's not what I said. How about rich man, poor man, Hick-chan? If you lose, you have to join the student council. No, absolutely not. Oh, why not? Well, because you two both have the same incentive and therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right? Yep. Yeah, that isn't my goal. What that means is that both of you can team up and I'll be at a clear disadvantage, so I'll have to decline. Hick-chan, I'm very offended. Are you saying you don't trust us and that we would pull something so disingenuous? That makes me sad. Sorry. It's hard to tell where Shizuna's influence ends and Misha's thoughts begin. In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council. No! I would have game of paper football instead of rich man, poor man. Paper football? Yeah, it's a game they play in America. You make a paper triangle and then try to shoot it past goal, first that the other player make with their fingers. Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hick-chan. And it's also played by elementary and middle school children, Hick-chan. I mean, it's a game that really separates the boys from the men. Like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not gonna play that either. Just the fact that you know about it means you're probably surprisingly good at it. Yeah, that's true. How'd you know, Hick-chan? Shizuna frowns at Misha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me into the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. I've never been on one before, or even known anybody who was a member, so it interests me. I also kinda like Shizuna and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Okay, Hick-chan, how about Risk? The game of world domination. Can they just say that so openly? Isn't that, like, trademarked? I don't know what that is. It's really fun, Hick-chan. You fight for control of the world, with armies and everything. Sounds like Shizune would be good at it. If you want to play, we can after school. Really, Hick-chan? We can play just for fun, Hick-chan. Hick-chan, god damn it. Hick-chan hasn't played in a long time, so if you wonder, there are no strings attached. Well, okay. Okay, perfect. So see you at school in the student council room then. Wait, why there? Because that's where we keep the game. Wahaha! I glanced at them what? I grimaced to tell them how much I do not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete, just by accepting to take a look around and play a game with her. Lunch ends and we go back to class. During afternoon... Why does it keep showing her? God damn. During afternoon classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy. Here we go. After school, Shizuna and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. I feel a little offended, but I've been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they're on their guard. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to his cell. Wow, what's wrong, Hick-chan? That's right, we're just gonna go play a game of Risk, remember? It's so weird that they're just saying Risk. I don't know, Misha, this all seems a little sinister to me. I start thinking that when we sit down to play a game, they'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it just seems like it would be so plausible. Getting to the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it? This makes you guys... What? This makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly. That's not true, Hick-chan. Hick-chan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capacity to pull off superhuman bursts of speed. Life is threatened? Her expression unchanging. Misha signs something as... What? Assumedly to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerily. Stop that, I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Hey, new background. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's a very plain, sparingly decorated room, although it is quite large, maybe even a little larger than a classroom. It is not. It is not larger than the classroom. based on the classroom that I saw. This is smaller. There's a big table in the center surrounded by chairs and a smaller desk prominently placed in the back that I assume is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side as well. Extras, perhaps? Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. Just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else. In fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. I could at least put a potted plant in here or something. But the most notable thing that this room doesn't have is other people. Are we early? No. What do you mean no? Does it mean nobody else is coming today? Yeah, that's right. Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically. Hik-chan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Do I actually have to play Risk? Okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain them to you while we set everything up. When Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinet and froze it. Jesus. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha spends a little time, a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a decisive motion, slicing her arm through the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I start feeling more competitive than I intended to be when I agreed to this. Okay, we don't actually get to play Risk. Halfway into the game, while I try to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assaults from two fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention. Hik-chan, Shizune wants you to know that you were taking too long to make a move. Hik-chan also says that she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. Oh damn, I'm from Australia! I want to keep Australia! I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would jangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no. Hik-chan admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent dictator who would spare your people if you agreed to join the student council. Ha ha ha. So competitive, Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. I'd expect the student council president to be a little more magnanimous. Is that right? Magnanimous, yeah. She doesn't seem to know what the word means or how it's signed, so she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return sends it back to Misha. Misha presses her index finger against her temple, as if she's trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing. Wait, please slow down, Hik-chan. Hik-chan says you're going to lose. Tell her I will crush her world empire with my rebellion. Okay. The eyes of her shine with childlike mischief. She has no chance if you keep playing like this. No, you won't. It's a trap. It's smarter to play defensively here. She has a point. Attack aggressively. It's never good to go on the defensive. Attack aggressively. She's either really mocking me or trying to trick me. I have nothing else to lose, though, so I might as well try something different. If I spread out my forces and try to control more territories, I can regroup the advantage. Shizune seems to focus on conquering whole nations, so maybe I can sacrifice my hold on continents to gain more small countries. It's worth a shot. A few turns later, I end up losing the game anyway. Oh, that's how you go back. I accidentally, moved the scroll wheel. Shizune adjusts her galoshes victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist in the air in celebration. I win, yay! There's no need to translate that, it was pretty clear. Don't look so sad, Hik-chan. You're really giving it your best, that's what I thought. Sometimes the best just isn't good enough though. If anyone knows that, it's me. You did very well for someone who just learned how to play today. I actually love Risk, it's such a fun game. Hik-chan, you attacked Hik-chan, you attacked Iceland and North America at the same time. That's a very daring move. Hik-chan is impressed. Why would I attack Iceland and North America at the same time? Sounds like a horrible move. Especially considering I mainly had Australia, I guess? The mark of great people is that they are daring and that they can follow through. You're already halfway there. Isn't that great, Hik-chan? That isn't enough though. Just potential isn't enough. There's no point to potential if you don't take the first step. There is no point to that if you don't keep going. I want to see more. You're right, Hik-chan, but that's so demanding. Whoa. Shizune leans forward, suddenly looking a lot less playful and more like the serious person I expected her to be from the start. Hik-chan, would you like to join the student council? She really doesn't waste any time, does she? But it's only my second day of school, so I'm hesitant about committing to something so early. I haven't even taken a look at any other clubs yet. But spending time with Shizune and Misha does seem like something I wouldn't hate. Doesn't seem like something I would hate. I still need more time to think about it before I decide for sure. Maybe I'll get back to you on it. Okay, Hik-chan. But I hope you're not just saying that so we don't feel bad. No, really? Really? Hik-chan, if you're gonna say that, you're saying that it is definitely the truth, and there can't be any mistaking it. I know. I guess I should have my revenge for losing at the very least. Shizune smiles at that, At that in a mischievous way that feels like twisting the knife in the wound of my loss. Take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize I've spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. It's a pretty long game. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How it's gonna be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall. It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shik-chan. We think the library is open. It's on the second floor. Can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is? No thanks, it's okay. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye! One flight of stairs up and I run into problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one. Wide, of course, and plain, like only hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to. Then there is a plethora of other unmarked doors. Is the library one of them? Or is it just somewhere down the hall? I bet on the ladder and choose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws an attention because it's not closed. It's not open either though, just barely ajar, so that I can see it's open and nothing else. It makes sense for the library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means that someone is inside and I can ask for directions no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertip, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. Man, dude, that's so nerve-wracking, going into like a room that you're not sure what it is at a school. It's like, oh god. The feeling of being an outsider to this school can't be shaken from my mind, so much so that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. Not a necessary door creak game, but thank you. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, though it was much easier to open than I'd anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head even further inside to gain sight into the room as fast as possible, the meek hello on my lips is quickly snatched away. Whoa. Oh hey, this is like our first... Oh no, we had a CG at the start, I guess. This is not as I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of a solitary figure taking center stage in an otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway, staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently, having taken out time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down a teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. There's no teacup in this. Wavy-haired girl. Hello there, may I help you? Staring directly in front of herself, the movement of her lips seemed to break the silence, rather than the words. However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she's a being separate from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. Hi, sorry for intruding, I was just kinda lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite her, the girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That, and the slight clearness of her eyes means she must be at least partially blind, like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese? As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence eerily comfortable. What? Eerily? No. Entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yamaku. Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers. What? Accented by a restrained bow. What? Restrained bow of greeting. One which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lily Satao, pleased to meet you. Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep steep with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into, seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Yo, I do the same thing to measure how much is in a cup if I'm pouring a drink in the dead of night and it's dark. You can just use your finger. Works pretty well. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I've never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offerer preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observation. Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. The school library. Shizune and some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class free, no? That's right, in the science room with Muto. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do. Hey. People sitting together. Still no tea. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Nevertheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Sato. Tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lily, please, there's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well, I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's As if she's catering to me. So which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third year classes. Correct, I'm in class 3-2, which is on the 3rd floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and is specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. Sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the fox paws. Looking at her face though, she doesn't seem the least bit put off by it. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Sure, sorry. I guess I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. Well, the same can't be said for everyone. Many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include her, it seems. All too ready to jump ship from this peculiar topic, I surge into another. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. I come here fairly often during lunchtime. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune's blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view on school clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunchtimes, the baseball club, and the book club in the room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, though, such as the art and music clubs. At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if this school shares the same rule as the old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. Ah, good, that's a relief. I've really let down my guard around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. As I look over the window over my shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has a distinctly orange tint. Loud music. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Huh, the time's going quickly. Sorry. Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. Just looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she might have lost track of the time. Sorry, Sao. I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long. I'll quickly move to allay her concern. Ah, no, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems likely to know it in any case. True. It's open until 6 during weekdays. 6:30. A quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get there. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It's my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you to where the library is? Couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it alright. Well, unless my navigational skills fail me, which they seem to have a habit of doing. It's alright, I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you. This girl gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, then that'd be great, thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, rectangular cane that has been slipped into the handle of her... What? That has been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily looks much thinner and longer. Here's my B for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers. We slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door in to the warm-looking room, apparently situationed at the center of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile at the jester, taking the lead as we file in. To the left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school's library, with the distinct smell of old books giving the place an almost old world air. What? Air? Yeah, old world air. There don't seem to be a lot of students here, considering the time. It isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or the dorms. Yuko, are you here? She says it to the Finn... What? She says it to Finn Air since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course, Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that it's drawn a reaction. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet yelp. Ah. Hey! Look! It's best girl! It's the best girl. She's not in the side anymore, but she's still best girl. The Origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up to extremely rigid attention. Hi Lily, how can I help you? Oh, she's so cute, look at her. Best girl. Her voice is strained and in a failing attempt to sound casual, and she's rubbing the back of her head. Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing, I just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser under my desk, and while I was looking for it, a pencil dropped, and when I was looking for both of them, you came and surprised me. You alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know. It's okay, sorry for making you worry. This is nothing. I've had worse happen to me. She's quick to reverse Lily's apologies, almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter. Yes, worse things have happened. That girl fidgets with her fingers, as Lily doesn't seem to drop a concerned expression, And then she shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replicate with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look. She seems to fit the librarian perfectly. Ah, Lily, did you get my message? Message? Oh, the 2 imported books that arrived. Right, they finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but... I missed her celebration... What? Oh, celebrations. Partially for managing to change the topic. I'm sure she notices me from the corner of her eye and freezes on the spot when she does. Ah, she's so cute. Oh, no, I'm sorry for not introducing you before. What? Not noticing you before. Did you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry. The way that she can so quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling. He's with me, Yuko. This is Asao, and your student. Asao, this is Yuko, the school librarian. Pleased to meet you. Asao, right? Asao. Pleased to meet you too, Asao. For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind so she won't forget. Yuko often arranges to import foreign books in Braille for me. Would you like to tell Asao a little something about the library? Lily's innocent suggestion to meet with an expression of abject terror. Please Lily, I can't. I don't know what he could be interested in. This is too much responsibility. Is it? No, it's any responsibility at all I don't get, but her rejection is so sincere I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. But, so there are a lot of books in Braille here? I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops into my head. Seems to work, at least partially. Azuko seems to, not exactly relax, but at least look slightly less tense. Well, I think about a third or the fourth of Yamaku's library is either in Braille or audio. Makes sense, given all the blind students that'd be here. If it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place? Well, we gotta learn new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. I spend more time on new books than on my salary, and then I have to organize and shelve all of them. It's so troublesome and they weigh so much. I wish I could quit this job. Very awkward silence follows this revelation of too much information. I'll go check the aisles then, if you don't mind. It's probably best for all of us if she doesn't keep talking to me. Very well. Meanwhile, Yuko, I would have those books if that's alright with you. My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Oh. I just realized it's past the 30-minute mark. Well, I guess we'll end this episode here then. So today a lot actually happened this episode. We met Lily, we met Best Girl, Yuko, and we also found the library and stuff. Shame that Yuko is not around because she's goddamn adorable and I already love her personality. But you know, it'll be what it'll be. Shame. That's what it is. It's a goddamn shame, I tell you. This is an outrage. I want my Yuko dating. Alright. Well, I'll see you guys all next time. If you want to see more of my disappointment at the lack of being able to date Yuko, make sure to subscribe. Hit the like button if you liked it, and if you didn't like it, as always, keep it to your goddamn selves. I'll see you all next time.